So what I did, I started from, as when you looked in the classroom, we were doing what's called the cross-curriculum extension activities. And what those activities show, it's really supposed to be from grades 2 to 8, but we have some kindergartens in who are able to look at the vocabulary words, say the vocabulary words.
Anthropologists.
Okay, so say it smooth.
Forensic anthropologist.
A forensic anthropologist, right? And then I'm able to administer those. Okay. First, I give the vocabulary words, right? Vocabulary words are given. Easy to read in the back of that section, page 37. We went from corner, anthropology, forensic science, paleontology, and we also did archaeologists. So it's, what's that, 5, 7, it's 8. So I broke my class down in 2 class periods. I do Tuesday and I do Thursday. The first class period, I give them a hero of the month. That hero of the month is Dr. Daniel Hale Williams. So I put his picture on the board because 85% of my children are visual learners. So when they see Dr. Daniel Hale Williams and I tell them who it is, they know who it is the next time. By Thursday, they're gonna know who that picture is, guaranteed. He was what's called a cardiologist. Okay, so your first vocabulary word today is cardiologist. Let's write it down. Cardiologist is your first vocabulary word for today. Okay. So that's what I did in my first class. The second class will go over the next 4 vocabulary words. And then we'll pick another hero. Which made him what type of doctor?
Cardiologist.
Cardiologist, good. This great man here, Dr. Charles Drew. What did Charles Drew study? Blood what? Be specific. Yeah.
Blood organisms.
No.
Blood plasma.
Blood plasma. Dr. Charles Drew studied blood plasma, right? And what's also good is you listed a few on page 38. And I also put, not to jump ahead though, but I also put in my vocabulary words what the journey has at the bottom. It has ology and logi, ist, al, and ik. These are Latin. So my class, that group already studied some of the Latin prefixes and suffixes. So now it's infusing 3 different categories of English and science. So we got grammar, we got Latin, and we also have mathematics. So with that group, since reading and writing is essential, but more importantly than both of those is having the mechanics of writing down and being able to write as notes, write the most important word in the text. So as I did, I wrote on one side of the board what a good reader does. So we go through those 6 steps, which is also given in the journey. What do good readers do? No. Yeah, go ahead.
Predict what happens next.
They predict what happens next in the story. Number 2, they ask questions in their head while they're reading. Number 3, evaluate the text. Number 4,
reread the text if they don't understand.
number 5,
Recall the main idea.
let's write number 6 down.
Number 6, summarize everything.
Okay, good. Okay, now, so we go through those 6 techniques into finding out main idea, summarizing, how do we take good notes. So now with that group, which is all preparatory, I'm telling them the words to write down out of the text. But as we progress gradually, they'll start figuring out the particular words on their own to take out of the text for notes. But the science behind that is, once they're able to write it, when they write it, they remember. When they see it, they remember. So writing it and looking at it is only compounding their ability to learn the word and the definition.
More recently, footprints have been discovered to be an equally reliable identifier.
Good. Continue.
Every person's foot has a unique set of ridges that make up a print that is not exactly matched by any other human being. Much like with fingerprints, the pattern of the footprint is a specific characteristic that can pinpoint any one particular person.
Good. The Journeys program, that was activity 1. Activity 1 is showing how to get children to know the relationships between footprints and height sizes, right? So get captains. I broke my class down in 3 groups. Picked the captain, one of the most responsible children in that group, and I had them do a chart. And that chart identifies students in one column. Column 2 will identify the student's foot size, and we show them how to measure the feet. You got a little foot. And then we go to height in the 3rd column. Okay. So once we figure out those 3 columns, then we easily have the children feel more involved in the process. I show them how to measure height, I show them how to measure feet, and we break them down. I help them out with one group, and then the others, very easy, because all the children want to be involved now. Once they learn how to do it, they want to do it on their own. So now they have a chart. So I go over the relationships. Jacob, which has a bigger shoe size or foot size, he's obviously taller, right? So the bigger your foot, the taller you become, right? What was Tamiola's, what was her foot size, Jaden?
Tamiola's foot size was 17 inches.
Okay, she was 17 inches tall. 17 inches long, her foot. How tall was she?
Tamiola, 5 feet.
5 feet. Okay. My older group, which I consider 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders, they started Laetoli last week. So I gave them the first 2 activities for Laetoli last week, and that was 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders. That's my science group now. And the younger children, they're doing what I gave the 10 o'clock class. I'm giving it to them at 4. And they're younger than that group. They're 3, I got some 3, 4s, and a couple of 5-year-olds in that group, right? So the whole school is getting it, you know, and I'm just piecing together the material where I can break it down and ultimately inculcate and infuse the entire curriculum with the information. Friday was a review, so we reviewed everything, and then at the end of the class, we started the new section, which was section 2, maps and globes and grids, and then we went over grid lines, we went over longitude, latitude, prime meridian, and the equator. And I gave them an opportunity to see if they were comprehending. We gave them an opportunity to point to the different sections we were going over, like latitude. Okay, which lines are latitude, point to them. Because some of the children are kinesthetic. They have to actually get more involved in the lesson with their hands. So those children, we made sure that they understood what those particular points were even before they start writing the vocabulary words on the board. So now we have to get more in depth in the lesson the 2nd day, not the 1st day. So I can gloss over it the 1st day, give them the vocabulary words, the definition, brief background. 2nd day we go more in depth because they really don't have an understanding yet. So once they got the understanding, when we meet 3rd day, which is today, they were more enthusiastic. So now they had time to go over it. We gave them pragmatic examples. The compass, like I use my phone as a compass. Now they're able to understand how a compass is a tool still being used. Compensating
currents replace the water blown by the wind system.
Good.
These currents and winds are strong enough to bring a ship from African to the American shores with the aid of self-powered boats.
Good, there we go. So that's how the ancestors were able to travel from Africa to North America. Getting on one of those belts or currents from the continent of Africa, those currents or belts would take them exactly where they need to go. Anywhere or any place in the world, right? Okay, let's go with Jaden. Jaden gonna read next.
If we break the currents of waters in the Atlantic Ocean into 3 groups, we would have one above the equator, one of the equator, and one below the equator.
Those particular sections in Journey are scheduled for 4 through 12. We have kindergartners and first graders who actually can read the words, but don't necessarily have an understanding of what the words mean. So we just take a little more time. So once they have the definition of the word, they can read it more fluently and they have a better understanding of the material. And that helps them to test better. So when quiz time comes, since they know the meaning of words now, it's easy to test and get good grades. So I give a quiz, sometime oral, sometime written on the previous lesson. What about radar? Yeah.
Radio?
Yeah.
Radio detection and ranging.
Radio detection and ranging. Radar is an acronym. Good, Ross. Good. Now, next. What about GPS? Yes, sir.
Global positioning system.
GPS, global positioning system. Correct. Good job. Good. All right. 15.
Can return.
Nope.
Energy.
Good. Energy. I'm not gonna get y'all to spell an easy word like that. 16. Solar energy. What? Salt water. 18. Silent.
Equatorial current.
Equatorial current. Huh? Now let's silent. You do it next. Let's silent spell it. Be quiet. Good. Good job. 21. So, I mean, the children now, man, they love it, man. Okay, we gonna spell it.
B-E-N.
With the words here, of course, some of them are challenging. But at the same time, when you give the lessons, especially the cross curriculum sections here, which is for lower grades, if you're able to give those along with the vocabulary strengthening strategies that you give, all children from K all the way up and through 8th, 9th, and even high school can at the same time learn from these different lessons. For an instructor that wanted to challenge their students, they should start with these lessons, cross-curriculum with the first grader or K, because it just enhances their ability. It strengthens the vocabulary. But if you don't have, at that particular school, if they don't have a strong reading foundation, they're not going to do it. And I'm not going to tell you that when you came into the classroom, this was the first time that they saw these words. It wasn't. We went over these words consistently, and that's what we do. So if the sections are given to an instructor in a public school setting, they may have to spend more time on the vocabulary words, teaching the vocabulary words to a kindergartner. But as you saw, and as the viewers will be able to see, it's definitely in the realm of possibility, because that's what we have. We have pre-K and kindergartners reading these vocabulary words in this lesson that's structured for a 4th grader.
Each trade winds.
Good.
In the southwesterlies.
Good. Good job.
These wind currents also explain how adventurous African sailors could have used these currents to land all along the shore of South America, Central America, and some parts of North America, where their presence have been documented in civilizations such as in the Olmec culture of Mexico.
Good. So we start the good job. Excellent read. And as you can see, those children I had some 4-year-olds in there, 5-year-olds, maybe no 7s. So it was 4, 5, and 6-year-old children. All of them are able to read the material effectively. All of them are able to follow along at that age group very effectively.